Hello everyone. It's been almost probably over 6 months since we did the last podcast. So we're back, and who I'm with, Eva Bite Gaming.
Hello?
Want a peanut?
Hi, Internet. You want a peanut? Why do we keep making that dumb joke from Rooster Teeth?
You know, it's actually been 2 years since you started using that one-liner. I think that one-liner was one of my early videos of vlogging, and I found you in the park, and you're like, "Hey, want a peanut?" And I can't believe it's been almost, yeah, actually, it's 2 years now, and time flies, dude. It's crazy. And I'm just casually watching Chanel playing this game.
Yeah, I'm playing Outriders while doing this podcast.
Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even recorded on this camera next to me. Whoops. I just needed a camera for backup, that's all. Just in case the PC shuts down for no reason.
I bet Jakob's gonna die.
I hope not.
He will.
The PC keeps blacking out every time if I edit my videos for too long, it just blacks out. So it has to like reboot itself. We can.
You want me to come to your house someday and sort it out?
We could try. Yeah, we could try to do that. If you want to.
Yeah.
Alright, what I got up to the last 2 weeks was that the Batman was released in theaters in the 3rd of March, which was on a Thursday. I decided to get watching the Batman on the theaters on Saturday, which was on the 5th. I'm surprised there was not much people around watching in the same seating as I was. So yeah, I'm lucky to actually bought a ticket for myself at the front of the front row to watch it, and
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty fucking stoked that the rest of the entire film, it was just as hyped as the trailer. And I'm like, well, I love the trailer so much, let's hope that, you know, it's the same throughout the entire film, you're watching it. And I kind of say, like, yeah, the hype was real. So I was like, because sometimes the trailer makes it just as good as watching the entire film, and I might say that, yeah, you'll get the best hopes. Just like you were watching the trailer, and you're like, yeah, can't wait, and you'll get the same feeling. It's a masterpiece on its own, dude. This is the Batman I actually wanted. It's just not because it's more like Nolan's ultra realism. No, it's not like that at all. It's more focused on noir, like the original detective comics with the Batman.
Yeah.
Like a Batman movie, it is dark. But you know, like DC films supposed to be dark, right? You know, but sometimes you get a little bit of humor. But this Batman, I think, is just as darker than fucking Snyder's Batman. But they try to keep it, you know, like M15 in here, or like PG over in the United States. But it still feels like it could have been, you know, MA or R18. It's
I think they tried to do it, but then they wanted like more audiences to make more money.
Yeah. That makes sense too. But they did it in a clever way. You know, like it still feels like an R18 film, but you know, people around, like kids as well, can watch it. You know, like you just said, like you build up for a more, like, the rest of the audience can watch it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I would say Paul Dano made an awesome Riddler. Creepy, mysterious. I think creepy and disturbing is in the same realm. Because I liked his previous films. He's always plays like a mysterious, creepy type of dude. For example, I watched Prisoners, which is like Jigsaw Zodiac, which is basically like the Matt Reeves film as well. It feels like you're taking bits and pieces of Jigsaw, Zodiac, Seven, all in the same, you know, in a Batman film. And Paul Dano was a great role to play, you know, the Riddler. but I don't want to spoil it because I know you haven't seen it yet, so I want to make it
Yeah,
a
I haven't gotten a
spoiler-free
chance to watch
review.
it. I've been trying to like save money, and like going to the theaters would be like a bad idea right now. I think the only movie I'm gonna be watching this year, for now, would be
Doctor
the next
Strange
Doctor
2,
Strange. Yeah,
Multiverse of Madness, or DS2
DS2.
Mom.
Yeah, that dumb joke.
Oh man, dude, that conversation last night was so fucking epic, dude. It's like making an inside joke out of it as an acronym. Like, what does it stand for? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch, DS2 Mom. I'm like, so many people are gonna make so much inside jokes out of it. Like, how good is it just to watch, Mom in the cinemas? Like, man.
Yeah. Hey, did you watch Mom last night?
Yeah, man, I'm so stoked watching Mom in the theaters, dude. It's fucking sick. Oh, dude, fucking MCU, fucking crazy, man. I don't think they're
I
aware
bet
of the
Marvel's
acronym, right? Can you imagine
No,
telling?
I bet Marvel has been making like mom jokes or like your mom jokes while working on Doctor Strange too.
I hope so. Oh man, I hope so. Hopefully we get something out of it in the bloopers, but yeah, man. Colin Farrell's an obvious one. I'm going to say is that he's unrecognizable as the Penguin, of course, with the makeup of all. But it's still impressive, unrecognizable to see Colin Farrell to play the gangster version of Oswald Copperpot as Penguin, and
Yeah.
the car chase. Oh man, if you think the car chase was so good in the trailer, you got to watch the entire scene of the car chase. It's like the highlight of the film. It is amazing, dude.
There was
Oh
a
man.
guy who like recorded the car sounds and posted it on YouTube, and it sounds so good. It sounds a lot like Kit from Knight Rider from 1980s, how it's like a muscle cars V8 mixed in with a jet turbine. It sounds so nice.
Oh man, it is so fucking cool, dude. Like even the start of it, and you can hear like the engines and the blue flames coming out from the back. It's like this guy is unhinged. We have an
Yeah.
unhinged Batman for sure. A lot of people are speculating what happens with Actually, I don't know if I wanted to say that. Actually, I'll probably just save that for the next podcast. If you like for a spoiler breakdown of the Batman. But I
Yeah.
think you know what I'm talking about at the end of the movie, like the climax. A lot of
Like
theories.
like during like the big fight, or is this like
Yeah, like
after it?
yeah, the big fight. Yeah. Um, what else? Oh yeah, today. Yeah, I just drove from the service station, well, gas station, for you guys who are in the United States. I drove to the gas station, and man, I think I picked the wrong time where everyone takes lunch breaks, and it's like 80% of peak hour where everyone. It feels claustrophobic just to park in around that space, and it was really hard to go through the green lights, and I'm just like just parking there for a good like 2 minutes until it's clear, so I can just
Yeah.
indicate and turn to the green lights. But it's like chock a block, mate. It's like a bunch of like cars lining up in one street to the
I don't
lights.
know, like, what's up with, like, people these days. Like, everyone's just traveling now.
Even if it's like it's like the last day on a Friday, and it still feels like Monday, if you get what I mean. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Like,
man,
I
what do these
get,
people do
like, a
these?
bunch of restrictions have ended and whatnot, but, like,
Yeah, because they're going ham, dude. They like driving everywhere. Like it's still going on. Like people like want to go out, even on a Saturday where
yeah.
it's like Saturdays and Sundays. The weekends should be quiet, but like you won't see any like dead streets at all on the weekends. People literally like drive like it's a Monday, and it still feels like peak hour. Like on like what should I say 10 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Um, but yeah, it is what it is out here. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I just bought, a packet of cigarettes and a couple of energy drinks, and that's all I needed.
Stop
So
smoking.
yeah, and funny thing is, I took my specs with me, my glasses, which is like half broken. So I rushed quickly inside the store, and I got what I needed. And when I came back, one of one of the I think one of its eyelid. How do you say that? The eyelids. I'm so fucking retarded right now. I am. One of it broke and it just landed on the ground, and I'm pretty much blind as it is. So I'm just trying to find what I'm looking for on the concrete for a good minute. And I kind of got
Yeah.
frustrated because I thought there was going to be a car going to run over me. I'm like, and I just looking for on the ground. I picked it up. Like finally, I found it. Um, and yeah, I went to my car and just drove off, and here I am doing this podcast. So that was
Yeah.
yeah, mission success. So these are my spectacles, my glasses, and this
Oh my
is what
God, you sound like
happens.
an old person calling them spectacles.
This is what fell down to the concrete,
Oh,
fell
the
down to the.
lens fell off.
Okay, the lens. I'm retarded. Okay, I'm sorry. I lost brain cells, and this was dropped on the ground, and I couldn't find it for a whole minute because I was having this on, and
Dude, just go to like the optometrist and get it put back on.
I could not see properly close up on this left eye, so I couldn't even find it. So it's like Where's Wally, playing Where's Wally on the ground right now. Interesting is that this right eye can see close up perfectly, 4K, but if I take these spectacles out, I cannot see anything in long distance. So it feels like pretty much 240p right now, all pixelated. I'm not blind, but so it's just bipolar with my eyelids right now. So this one is really terrible at close-ups, and this one is terrible of like long distance.
I love that you have
Long-sighted and
bipolar eyesight
short-sighted.
right now.
Hmm?
I love that you have bipolar eyesight right now.
Yup. Also, I like to cover up with the Deji fight. Yeah, not what I was hoping for, my dude. I was betting on Deji to win against Alex Wasabi, and he did not deliver the win. That's fine.
Disappointed.
I'm still proud of like the performance. Otherwise, he did lost weight. That's pretty good on his part. I would say that what's the point of fighting if you're not going to take any hits on Alex Wasabi? Like doing some damage, inflicting damage on Alex Wasabi. That's what I didn't get at from the fight. But yeah, respect to Alex Wasabi from getting the W. I'm kind of disappointed at the same time. I am kind of proud because Deji did avoid a few punches from Alex Wasabi. He's really, but I did not see any hits coming from Deji.
Yeah.
So I could understand why people's reactions are kind of disappointment from this fight. This is supposed to be a redemption fight from Deji, and we did not see his full potential. For him to prove that he will get the W. Yeah, quite disappointed. But I'm still proud of his performance. He did better than last time. Yes, that's great. Also, I think I do save some screenshots because I have commented on a video or a clip from the Sidemen podcast. What KSI's thoughts about the fight with Deji. Yeah, so the speculation on that, I had a few words to say about that. Because the last time one of his fights, when he fought Vinny Hacker, I kind of understand because to him, making a video about the Deji fight against Vinny Hacker last year, it was acceptable. I understood that because it's the only way to communicate with Deji, because it seems like Deji couldn't really reach out to KSI or his brother JJ for, the aftermath of the fight. So the only way to actually, say all these things to Deji is put it on public, so Deji can watch over the internet. I will agree. Okay, so the comment saying that the last time he gave his brother criticism of a lecture out of the brotherly tough love over the internet, which I do get, is because it's the only way for him to reach out. But basically what I'm trying to say is like this, because he uploaded a video about it. It feels like the last time he was disappointed. I feel like this is more than it's just ranting now. because they did have a better, relationship right now as of last time. They do communicate. They do, communicate through, for example, text message, through a phone call. And what I'm trying to get at is that why don't you just pull Deji to the side and tell him what he needs to hear, not just, doing this in private instead of, doing the same formula of, ranting in public for everyone to see. You're kind of like embarrassing your own brother over the internet. But it's, at the end of the day, it's up to, JJ for what he wants to do, because that's his brother and he's the only one to say all this to Deji, either if it's in private or it's in public. So I kind of being the devil's advocate here and just understand both sides. But I wanted to be, stick to my statement that I feel like this time around it's not alright. But that's my opinion. Everyone has opinions, right?
Yeah.
And also JJ KSI has a right to say this too. So it's not everyone's fault. It's just, everyone has different perspectives on the involvement. When you put this on the internet, it's everyone gets involved. So either you like it or not, everyone's going to have an opinion if you put that, video on the internet. So basically, of course, everyone would react to it. Everyone has a right to a free speech and what they want to say about the situation.
Yeah.
So what I try to say at the end of the comment saying, yeah, this whole rant is unnecessary about his loss over the internet. Yeah, it's
Got
just,
jumped in then, well.
yeah, long story short, it's just all about privacy, If you want to actually give Deji criticism now, why not you just message him or call him or just visit him, or on, like, even after the fight, tell him what you wanted to say to him, give him, the brotherly tough love, criticism, feedback, and hopefully Deji can apply to that criticism and he can improve for his next fight, if he wants to fight. But yeah, I got a lot of response from a lot of people, and I'm kind of surprised that there's a lot of reactions coming from it. So I got this guy saying he agreed. He said absolutely this should be handled privately, not like a shitty sidecast clip. Okay,
Yeah.
now this is just disrespectful. Certainly not as a shitty side channel YouTube video. I don't know how to react to that, but you do you. So a random guy says, "Yo, hey bro, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? I like cookies and cream."
I like anything that's got like caramel in it.
I would agree. I like the same, and I also like, the rainbow, dude. I don't know how to explain that. I like Rocky
Rainbow
Road.
is caramel flavored.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking of an ice cream cake that has like a rainbow flavor
Yeah.
around it.
Like for me, it's like there's like ice creams that have like caramel goo in it. Basically, I like those.
Ooh. I like dark chocolate. If there
Well,
was like
dark
a dark
chocolate's
chocolate
pretty
ice
nice as
cream, I
well.
would like an ice cream that has dark chocolate. I
I
don't know.
also like myself a bit of mint as well. Sometimes you just want to feel refreshed.
Yeah, instead of like brushing your teeth and something like that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I got another guy who's the complete opposite. He said, "Don't get me started for a reason. You two are a bit soft." I agree. I think I'm a bit soft, perhaps. But there's other ways to let it out besides putting it on the scene, put it on the internet. Letting the public know about with the rant about his brother's performance. But I still agree that Deji needs criticism after the fight. There's a lot of, it's a lot of things that need to be, issued about what happened throughout the fight. He needs to hit more punches, put more punches into Alex Wassabi, work on his offense. His defense was terrific. It's perfect. His defense was amazing, but he needs to work on his offensive side. He needs to punch. He needs to throw punches. That's how you win boxing, dude. That's how you get points. But But yeah, like I said from before, from the comment, I said that's the only way for him to improve by taking that criticism and apply to what you can get from it all. Just thought it would have handled differently, but you know, at the end of the day, like I said, JJ can decide what he wants to do on this point. Um, but yeah, so the list does go on. There's another guy saying you're probably 12 with this comment. You don't know Deji on a personal level. This is the reason why it's on Side Plus, where fans pay for exclusive content that no one sees of the Sideman. This is a space where Sideman gets real and show more of their real side, and JJ is just expressing himself. If you can't do that, then y'all need to fuck off and man up.
Mm-hmm.
He does got a fair point, though. So I said, you know, fair point, but at the end of the day, it's up to JJ, whatever he wants to say about his bro, because he doesn't owe us anything. And any of us at this point, it's just stick to our own opinions, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. When you put it on the internet, everyone gets involved. It's just, it is what it is. In conclusion, this is the last comment I got from. All KSI fans seems to agree with him when this is clearly wrong. He knows his brother struggles with depression in the past. Have some dignity and don't say anything. Okay. Yep, that's another response. And the last one was, nah man, JJ is literally the only one seeing it through Deji's shit. His fanbase certainly won't ever say anything. It's absurd that his brother is the only one giving it to him straight. His fans and the other influencers are just sucking him off. That's why JJ is so pissed about the narrative that he looked better as well. I can fully see why he wants to publicly go against literally anybody else. Oh, sorry, everybody else. Because somehow he seems to yet again be the only one seeing through Deji's shit. So I guess what I'm taking it from is KSI thinks Deji is creating some sort of narrative to make him feel, you know, taking pity on him. So I don't know, because I'm not JJ. I do not know behind closed doors. I could see why he could have done better in the fight. So he didn't really rise up to his potential in the actual fight, because I think JJ is trying to say that he could have done more, just like in the sparring match. Yeah, that's pretty much whatever was going on last week. But still, I am looking forward to seeing. So, well, speaking about boxing, I am hopefully going to watch Thor versus Eddie Hall tomorrow for the Strongman versus Strongman boxing match, dude, on the 19th. But I think on the 19th, it's supposed to be on a Saturday. For us, I think it's on a Sunday. I think because, you know, we're in the future, so basically for them on the 19th, it's on a Saturday, but for us, it's on a Sunday on the 20th. But I might be wrong. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because, you know, it's been years now, you know, that we're talking about it, but it's like they've been training for years, and now this is the day, you know, who will win, you know, against the match with, you know, the Mountain and Eddie Hall. Thank you for everyone for watching. But actually, no, sorry about that. Forget about your side of the story. Do you have anything else to add in to this podcast?
No.
I was actually expecting more from you, but no, that's alright. We'll leave it for another time.
You just talked about like stuff that I don't really have much interest in.
Okay, fuck you.
Recently finally played the trilogy, because I think how I've played Mass Effect was like I played the first one, I didn't really like it, then like I never touched the other two games that came out, and then eventually went on to Andromeda, and I enjoyed Andromeda. A lot of people are about to try and assassinate me now that I said that, but
Yeah.
like I enjoyed it. So eventually, you know how Legendary Edition released, I was like, might as well give the trilogy a go finally. And I played all three of them in one go, and I loved it. I actually think Andromeda is worse than I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool, interesting take because there are some redeeming aspects of Andromeda, but we
Oh
all know,
yeah, it
um,
has out of like gameplay, Andromeda has the best gameplay out of all four of the games. Like you can't make any reasons to why Andromeda doesn't have the best gameplay because the first three were like heavily on cover-based linear levels. And then you move on to Andromeda, which the levels were significantly more open world, and you had more areas to fight in. There was like it was because it was open world, you were able to flank in different ways. Because you had jump jets, you could have like more verticality in your combat as well. So if you're in like one of the cat bases, you could like jump onto the roof and then fire from above, or even like jump underneath some of the bases because some of the bases were like on stilts, so you could go like from underneath, go around and go to the back and then flank from behind as well.
yeah, I think the gaming aspect out of Andromeda, it is pretty good. I loved it. It feels like
Yeah.
it's more open world when you move around. You know, there's no limitations of, you know, you can jump around obstacles, you can climb up stuff. Yeah, I do like it. It's sort of like almost turning into Assassin's Creed because you can, you know, move everywhere freely now. It doesn't
Yeah.
feels beyond three dimensional. But yeah, like I said, there are redeeming aspects of Andromeda. I'm not saying I hate it completely. But I'm
Oh, I'm
also
not
not saying
saying
I'm
I
not a
hate it
dick
either.
rider of
I'd
the, you
just
know,
say it's
the original
probably
Mass Effect
like
trilogy.
one of the worst.
To me, it's still the worst. I know that I would not lie to you that I'm a dick rider of the original trilogy. Because I grew up with the original trilogy. I'm a hardcore fan for Mass Effect. Um, I've been that of a fan since I was a kid, and I gotta say I keep replaying the trilogy. It's one of my favorites. Um, it kind of surpassed my fan base with Halo. It's kind of because Halo was my first love. Because when I had my
Yeah.
first Xbox, Halo came with it in 2003. That was my first time that I played a video game, and I can't believe such a game like this actually surpassed, you know, my love to knocking down Halo as my second favorite of all time. Um, I did like my first game was actually Mass Effect 2 before I started getting into Mass Effect 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Actually, I got into 2 and 3, then a couple of years back I for the first time I played the number 1. And number 1, I didn't know it took such a heavy impact because when I saved a few people in the first game, they kind of come back in the sequel and you start to revisit them in number 3 as well. So I saved
Yeah.
Rex because when I played number 2 without playing number 1, I don't have Rex in Mass Effect 2. But when I've saved
Wow.
Rex and Vermine in number 1, I get to have Rex back. And it felt like extra dialogue. I feel like it stretches out more of the game when I save people. And that's why, like, this is why I feel like Mass Effect is, this is the game for me. It is amazing. And it's clever. It's the best, dude. It's just hard to explain. But in Andromeda, for me, I think the story didn't end well with me. Didn't end well for me. I feel like it's a completely different game. Doesn't feel like it connects to, you know, the roots of Mass Effect. The
I don't think
dialogue,
it was
the
supposed to
dialogue
connect
lacks
to
the
the
concept.
original
I feel like the
trilogy.
dialogue. I feel like they're trying to make this consequences less obvious because they don't cover, you know, the color coding of consequences of the Paragon and the Renegade. They try to get
Yeah.
rid of that, so it feels like you're on your own.
Like
It's like it doesn't
all
give you
the choices
the cheat
event
sheets.
just made you feel like you're still an amateur. Like you couldn't be like stern if you wanted to. You always come up as like playful and casual, even if you pick like the serious tone choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like all the characters constantly undermine you and like ignore you the entire time. They like flat out don't care about like your character at all. Like if you ever replay like and you're just like sitting through like one of those meeting bits, they're just like interrupting you and like talking over you and not caring at all.
Yeah. What I think I don't get with the game is that they feel like they're trying to repeat the characteristics. It feels like they're making new characters, but they're sort of. It feels repetitive. I don't know how to explain that, but you know the giant mini bosses that you try to hack into, the monoliths, where you try to hack into those, these
Oh yeah,
flying
and to do
beings,
Sudoku.
and they remind me of the Reapers in a way that it feels like it's plagiarized. Um, it feels like it's generic with the design of characters. You know what I mean? It's sort of similar but different. They could have,
Yeah.
they could have ended up making something a bit different completely than just, making something that looks like a secondhand Reaper. And the cat as well.
At
Um,
least we didn't get Reapers again. That would have just been a bit dumb.
the cat's purpose, reconstructing DNA of the original species, like when they trying to,
Okay,
reconstruct a
with
Krogan's
the
DNA into the cat. It feels like the same way of indoctrinating people from the original
yeah, no,
trilogy.
like the cat stuff was literally exactly the same as like what Reapers were doing with their husks and stuff.
Yeah. So I kind of like this feels repetitive to me. It feels like I'm still
That
playing.
that was lazy. Like there should have been like a different kind of threat that wasn't just like taking alien like kidnapping alien species and then evolving them forcefully and then brainwashing them.
Yeah,
Like they
exactly.
something new.
Yeah. It isn't so different of indoctrinating somebody and turning them into their own is the same purpose as in the original of the Reapers were doing. So yes, exactly, I agree that it's lazy. So
Yeah.
lazy writing, right?
Like I
Um,
think old alternate things could have been like I don't know if you want to like look at Halo's inspiration, but like it would have been cool if like um how when they were researching the initiative stuff and like going Andromeda's gonna be a new homeworld and like they found all the golden worlds. That was like 600 years old information by the time they get there. So it could have been great if there was like proper wars between all alien species or something happening by the time you got there. But it just ends up being a war with one species and that's the cat. Like, it would have been great if like there was like the original native species, the Angara, and then there was like, I don't know, five or six other species just all battling each other.
yeah.
And throughout that you're trying to establish your own worlds while trying to bring peace between those six species. I think that would have been a better story choice. It would have made the new character seem badass in a way like Shepard was, but not be entirely a copy of Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, which is, which I'm hoping that we will get the same feeling with the Mass Effect 4.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if it's gonna be called Mass Effect 4 or given like an entirely new name, kind of like how
and
Andromeda was given its own thing. Like, would it could it be called like because isn't didn't they hint to both the solar like the Milky Way and Andromeda being both in the game? Like they referenced Andromeda in one of the trailers, so
I heard that
it's
they're trying to
assumed.
connect with Andromeda and the original trilogy together with this new game. Yeah,
Yeah,
that could
so
happen.
they could like name like what would they name like the galaxy? What's the name of the galaxy that holds both the Milky Way and Andromeda? They could name it after that or something.
That feels like lazy as well within the title, like the Milky Way, and then the next game is Andromeda. So how to actually top
No,
it off?
like
Make a
I,
title
I
of the
believe there's
universe.
like an overall universe name that we probably have because like I feel like the Milky Way and Andromeda are
Yeah. Sorry, sorry, you were saying.
oh that was it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just got the message just popped up on my messenger. It was actually from you. Sorry. I actually
Me?
yeah, I got one of those. I know I was watching one of those messages you got from me with the acronyms again. So I'm trying to revisit I'm trying to revisit last night about the Multiverse of Madness. So I was gonna say nobody wants to watch Multiverse of Madness with your mum. I'm like, okay. And my battery's running low, so I have to. We'll probably catch up next time about the Andromeda. Sorry, not the Andromeda. The new installment of Mass Effect on our new in our next podcast. Sorry, we can continue on that conversation. But until then, I have to end this session for now. But thank you for everyone who
Wow.
is watching this video, and I also like to thank Evo Byte Gaming to be on this session on this podcast. And yeah, I hope you guys will stay tuned for the next podcast where we'll talk about the new installment for Mass Effect and all the theories and discussions and what we want in the game. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Peace.
Bye.